final, but it won't be the end of the road for either. Whoever comes out on the receiving end, of course, of this best of three. But yeah, if we can see the likes of Ellie and maybe find some form again on the up. We also had the likes of Forrester kind of going missing during that previous map, then I do still believe that we could have some hope for them potentially to come back into this one.
It is worth noting that although you have to go to the back end of last year to find the stats, they have played on this map twice, and Entropiq have both times taken it, both times in the deciding map of a best of three series. Will tradition win out? Will it be the Copenhagen Flames for the first time in their history taking the best of three over this current Entropiq lineup and booking themselves that spot in the IEM Dallas EU Close Qualifier Finals? Yabby starting as he means to go on. Huge headshot, rips it clean off Lackey. And there's more aggression where that came from too. They want long control, fighting for it fiercely, the CT side.
Yeah, we'll eventually decide to just retreat off. Mostly anyway. Nikodos has stuck around at the tree, which is now going to become a big issue as his support unfortunately was taken down in the background. Yabby arrives in towards the bathrooms, takes a couple of shots nearby as he eventually peeks in and realizes that Entropiq have just backed away from this one. Happy enough to have found an advantage off of this long fight and seem to just want to bring it back towards B. There's still a ton of time, so really they could have kept the options open. But it seems like B is where they want to bring that bomb towards, and that's where there's two players waiting, and you have Yabby, who is now pushing down long, to potentially put in a flank.
Timing from Krad is going to be everything, though, because there's flanks on flanks on flanks, as there so often tends to be on Overpass. Krad is working his way deep through CT, could potentially even find the backstab, but Siphon spotting out the feet is going to make things awkward now. Krad still a decent way away from being of any effect, and you can see Yabby herring it down connector to try and have an impact in from short. Hooksy is watching for heaven. I don't think he's watching for hell, though, so as Krad rounds it, should have a freebie. Hooksy reacts well, though, and now they look to split it. Krad distracting for a moment, but he's dealt with, and they need these kills inside of the site itself. Forrester in with one. Siphon again traded quickly, and it's on to Yabby, solo from short. 15 seconds left. They've got to get this bomb up, and they've got to do it now, or NickelBack needs to hit it. And that is a critical kill to open up Entropiq's account on Overpass.
Yeah, to wipe the cruelty, I suppose, of Nuke away from their memory pretty quickly. That is the best way to do it. Find a strong start of your own, and with it being here on the T side as well, where they really have had most of their struggles throughout both maps, if they can now build off the back of this, try and get it to a decent position, even just the initial three that they can then try and expand on afterwards. Build up a solid foundation, hopefully in a relatively clean manner. Yeah, it looks to be a fairly slow default from Entropiq. They know that they're not up against a ton. They do have a couple of players probing Monster, which is a bit risky. But they don't do much more than bait out the flash that Copenhagen Flames had invested towards, so that makes their stack a little bit less dangerous if they do eventually fully commit. It's going back out. I'm kind of surprised by this, but yeah, they just want the kills.
I don't mind it. Confidence builder, right? Roy is going to find one, though, and that's where it starts to get a little awkward. Nikodos is going to find a second. That's AKs. Plenty of rifles to be recovered. The problem is, for Yabby and Roy, they're tagged down low. Nikodos on full HP will take the AK, but they're also aware that Krad was lurking in towards connector. And as such, is causing a right nuisance to their rotations up. I mean, it's good damage either way. Nikodos looking to save that AK, will be allowed to do so as well. In towards water, he finds another big kill. 2 rifles and an SMG to be brought into the next would not be a bad result whatsoever for the CT side, given how little they brought into this one. It looks like they're going to be allowed to do that, or rather Roy is going to go hunting and see if maybe he can take a little more away with him. Not going to happen, though, as both sides will settle into a little bit of a handshake situation. 2 rifles saved by either team. You know what? You called it, Dean. It wasn't the right idea to go Monster.
Yeah, it's just very risky. I mean, even if you're not against the full stack, 2 players up close can swing. If you're peeking on your own, it can get a little bit dangerous. Even if you have someone who's behind you, sometimes you line up with the opponent, and the USP still manage to get the shots off and just do some damage. So yeah, it was a little bit risky for them to go dry out Monster, but something they're going to have to live with, of course, now. And whether there's any repercussions or we're yet to find out, of course. Those 2 rifles definitely could cause some damage here. And in what is already a buy, but it just allows them to ensure that there's nothing lacking at all. Surprisingly, they do get the op out, but it's glass cannon. I think it was dropped over to Nikodos, was it? swear I seen it being tossed.
Must have been. He's -0, so Zyphon's picked it up. Dropped it across to get the buy going. It's not a bad look either for the CT side, it's just not perfect. Duxie chews on a few nades. Has to retreat off his initial angle of choice. Allows Yabi, pop flashed into short, just to take that control, get any idea of presence. Nothing shown by Entropiq, however. We're happy to slow play it, wait until the utility's gone for the CT side, then retake short themselves. Again, just a slow, measured approach from this T side, working their way into corners of the map, taking short control, starting now to probe the front bathrooms. Just trying to get an idea of what the CT setup is when they've got rifles in their hands.
I'm just feeling it out. I was gonna say some good control, at least with the player pushed up in B water, but as I go to get those words out, Nikodos snatches an advantage for Copenhagen Flames over on long. Elian's the one who falls. So, a strong 5-on-4 with very limited time now for Entropiq as well to actually start capitalizing on some of this control. And, well, a late push in from Yabi is going to cost them. The flash over actually was effective in a team flash only, I believe. Forrester's going to follow up with another entry, and, well, the whole defense is just collapsing. Forrester finds himself too. Roy wants to continue the fight, it seems, despite the money really lacking, but I think at this point now, as the bomb gets securely planted, they should just save these weapons.
Looks like 35 seconds is plenty of time for Entropiq. Forrester just wanders out short, grabs 2 after Lackey's initial entry. And that opening pick on Elian remains the only kill gained by Copenhagen Flames. Really nice set again from Entropiq. Looked like they were running out of time. A little bit of over-aggression into short. Well countered by Lackey. Doubled up from Forrester. And that's what Entropiq can do to you if you give them the opportunity. They've got individually incredibly talented players. As much as Elian gets picked off, it's a clean conversion again. A couple of save rifles will give Copenhagen Flames a little bit of bite into round number 4, but this is promising signs from Entropiq early. After such a disappointing T-side on Nuke, it'll feel good for them to start clean, get that pistol. A little bit rough on the conversion, sure, but when the rifles come out, they know exactly how to counter.
Elian's just on the rifle for now, which is definitely interesting. See if he has to challenge up against Nikodos or not. He didn't go too well for him in that previous round. Focus-wise, though, again, doesn't seem like they're pinpointing in on one position. Just split out for the default, pressure everywhere. Try and run down those nades for Copenhagen Flames and see if anyone's going to overextend. But now, though, nothing really too aggressive. Although, as I say that, Nikodos decides he does want to go a little bit further. Finding that kill on Elian, just as Yabi finds defeat of Forrester as well, creeping forward in Mini Monster. And, well, it's easy for Nikodos, apparently. Somehow manages to get that follow-up on Lackey despite being out in the open. Leaving it all on NickelBack.
Clean pickings for the AWPer. At this point, a matter of damage. There's going to be none. Zyphon finds the kill. It's a first on the board for the Flames, and it's all 5 players kept up with it. The economy of Entropiq starts to buckle and bend. I think they're going to have to go into a slightly more resolute tactic than just pressuring everywhere and seeing which point breaks first, because at the moment, that's giving a lot of room to the likes of Nikodos, currently 6-1 on that AWP. In that round, he just had free reign over Fountain. Can't afford to be giving an AWPer of his caliber that kind of space. And, well, the counter's here. Elian's got his big green out as well. Posted in towards the Fountain. NickelBack's taken the sacrifice for the team. Drops down onto the Deagle. Roy, well, fires off a couple of warning shots and looks to exit swiftly, wisely as well.
Copenhagen Flames just kind of showed initial presence and have fallen all the way back to the bomb sites now. They do have the op obviously holding the angle on towards connector, so they at least have that info. They don't really want to fight the bathrooms or anything, knowing that there might be some pistols and weaker weapons potentially in play. As I said it again though, Nikodos loves to prove me wrong. Inches forward, just about escapes around the corner as well to be flashed back in. Good bit of restraint being shown, though, as he doesn't really spot anyone, and instead all he's doing is wasting a ton of time. And when they eventually come for him, he's still got a bit more to dish out, tagging up Lackey as well. He wasn't even the man that he shot at. He was shooting for the one that was jumping across, and Lackey ended up on the receiving end instead. And although Nico does eventually fall, he done more than enough to leave his teammates in a fantastic position to win out this round.
And well, there it is from Roy. Deals with Krad, and Elian with 30 seconds left couldn't just resign himself to saving that AWP. It's another one that goes by the wayside without so much as a whimper. And in fact, Elian's going to go for a little wander in here and find a lot of crosshairs facing his way. 41 HP remaining. Looks for the quick scope, won't land it. And this is what the Flames are so good at doing on Overpass. They do just feel suffocating at times, and you can feel that just starting to creep in at the extremities. Entropiq used so much utility taking the bathrooms, and still Nikodos is there, chipping away at them time and again. This one will be the eco. Nothing more to say than that, in all honesty. 3 AKs saved across by the Flames is a fantastic buy. Plenty of money starting to build up now as well. If they get through this one cleanly, it's going to start to look very clinical. After initial success, Entropiq now really struggling to get a purchase. Yabi then Zyphon combined for 2. Lackey caught wanting by Roy. Well, Krad and Elian just trying to pick up the pieces. They hear the angles. Roy is looking the wrong way, and he's going to get a knife to the back. AK recovered. A nice moneymaker for Krad as well. But that should be just about all that's said and done in this round, as Krad desperately trying to leverage this AK for all it's worth.
Bit of a chance there, but sadly Krad doesn't land the shots, and as you said, that AK tempted to try and make it valuable, but no kills being found. Maybe Elian can have a bit more success. Swinging in, there we go. Actually does some pretty good damage lining up 2 of them. Push up connector from the other 2 as well. Sadly, he's going to be pinched in on him. He tries to take the peek, although Hooksy just tries to charge him down. It seemed like they were almost certain that he had fallen back through mid, considering the one player wrapping back around, who's now coming in to make Elian's life a living hell. Yeah, saving this AK is nigh on impossible. He needs to hit ridiculous shots and somehow try and win this one out, and yeah, reasonably so. It doesn't happen. 3-3. We're tied up. Entropiq with a strong start that quickly loses its footing, and the question is now whether they can get it back, because we've seen this a few times already.
We've seen this plenty of times. Copenhagen Flames, their CT side, their Overpass as a whole has been exceptional. Certainly was when they first rose to prominence, and has been of late as well, with a little bit of a dip in the middle, although we won't talk about that. Looking to assert themselves again here. Again, Entropiq incredibly passive in these opening moments. They've been picked off so many times. They are desperately cautious about even just the simple things, just taking initial control of Fountain, an area of the map that they can happily reach in time before the CTs get there on spawns alone. So conscious of the AWP possibly peeking in, taking an angle that they will play it slow. Just now starting to work their way up long. Lackey's jumps will be heard. Krad looks frustrated by it as they push in. It's Roy on the off angle, 1 for 1. Good damage done onto the second at least, but Hooksy's taken a lot of damage over on B in the meanwhile. He goes down to just a single point. In fact, up on the A site he is, as Elian speculative shot onto the jump peak, but it's an even 4-on-4. For the first time in a while, Entropiq don't find themselves losing more numbers rapidly.
Yeah, but they don't have a ton of time to actually get a move on either, so they will have to move fairly quickly towards B, as we can see. Nikodos, though, hearing the flash over and the push from Connector, wanted the action. It backfires, though, and now the B bomb site is going to be left completely open. Zyphon unable to deliver either on the defense, and well, suddenly, with the money that they have available on both of these standing players, with Hooksy being 1 health, you may as well just save. They don't necessarily need to drop, but you can give Raya an M4 or whatever. Buff up the buy a little bit, make sure that he's going to be balanced out everyone else economy-wise. But Entropiq, they fire back. They get the guns going once again. They manage to grind out a pretty solid round here with 4 players still alive as well. And as I had mentioned kind of initially when they went out that pistol, that's what they needed. Even if they didn't win out the initial gun round, the fact that they were able to get that 3-0 start, it gives them a good platform to work off of.
call right now for Entropiq seems to just be keep enough players alive to hit a site with 35 seconds left. Both times they've done it with rifles, they've found success. Both times, Copenhagen Flames have just looked ever so slightly rattled. Missed shot by Nikados there, a second from the pillar swing, not able to connect. Just seems like they're feeling the pressure as it gets right into those dying moments. If they haven't got the opening picks, if they haven't got those advantages heading into the late round, then the Flames do look just ever so slightly rattled. And once again, it's gifted Entropiq around. It's gifted them the lead in this series as well. 4-3 up now. Again, settling into a slower default. Nikados this time down Con. Looking for feet. Getting spammed out, in fact. Lackey seems aware of the possibility. Roy has pushed up and is indeed, but can't quite connect the spray. Damage onto 2, but no kills found. Short taken, connector taken. Zyphon spamming away from jail, taking Monster away as well. And this is the Flames as we know them. Again, it's the confidence of those opening picks going their way. It just fuels their aggressions, and slowly but surely they pick off Entropiq one by one. Krad and Alien left wandering. Nice flash up. Alien will find one, but he's dinked down. He's being flanked out from long. Not that he has any idea at all. Hooksy ready and waiting. Krad, the last man by the coalface. Clean execution from Yabi as they level things out again. And it's the same recipe for the Copenhagen Flames. It's just this time they managed to bake a nice enough cake out of it. They're just aggressive in the openings. They get the opening picks. And from there, they just grab the kills as they're slowly presented by Entropiq.
Yeah, one thing worth noting as well is the fact that Copenhagen Flames, 3 out of 4 times when they get that opening kill, manage to close out the round. And they're also quite a bit better at winning out a round after taking the first death also. So it does just show you how strong they are here on Overpass. As we get the tactical pause for Entropiq, they're not going to be buying off the back of it. I don't believe so anyway. I mean, maybe. It's 2 players who can't. Alien's got his Kevlar so far. You'll probably just go for a pistol alongside that. Half buy-in, try and do some damage, get the real buy into the next round, and maybe if you have gotten 2 to 3 kills here in this round, you can quickly break Copenhagen Flames once again. Keep the score neck and neck, potentially. They do have a hero AK, though.
NickelBack had enough cash that he can get it out and still not be too far away from a buy. He's on the same cash as Lackey, who's only got a P250 in this one.
Yeah, they get to 2400, he'll be okay.
Yeah, I don't mind it. You know, you take a few more kills because you got the AK, fantastic. All power to you. That's exactly what Entropiq need here as well, is just chip damage. Couple of rifles taken away from the Flames. 3 would be ideal. Any more than that, an absolute bonus, just so that next rifle buy is invested into. Gives them an opportunity to start dreaming of breaking the cash. Nikados, for now, relatively solo on this A site. He does have support from Connector. It's Roy tucked in close who will start to hear these footsteps, but it opens up the opportunity for a long wrap. And that timing is starting to look a little rough around the edges for Nikados. He hits the second. Rifle will finally put him down. And now it's all about how much more there can be. Roy dodging the bullets of Forrester will put him down. And it's onto that rifle. It's onto NickelBack to get a lot of the heavy lifting done. Bomb goes down at the very least. And that's a big win again for Entropiq, you have to say. It's a rough old spray. But NickelBack will connect it. Elian now with an AWP in his hands as well. Could this be the moment of magic they're so desperate to find? Roy is still in these long bathrooms and is still causing a nuisance. Elian walks right on into him as they look to get out of dodge, and it will be a 5th. The lead once again swinging back the way of the Copenhagen Flames, but a couple of kills and a bomb plant. That's not a bad result at all. It's going to be a solid old buy for Entropiq.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible. Nikados honestly probably saved them actually coming away with 2 kills there in what was a near impossible position to work from. The first player, I think, who came out towards Guardian peeked back towards Connector, which made things a little bit easier, thankfully, but quick spin around to deal with the long players. 5-4 though, Copenhagen Flames have got themselves the lead. For now, is it going to last? That's the question. See, it does seem like they're coming alive here once again, but Entropiq again have been able to scrap it back.
Look at this aggression.
Very aggressive. Yeah, we haven't really seen anyone put themselves up in towards the playground as of yet. Forrester leaving himself open. That was a strange one. Was he expecting a boost over the graffiti or something?
Gets one, and that's all that matters. The flashes blind up Zyphon as well on the entry. He's got one kill. He needs more than that. Lackey will trade him. Even in the 3-on-3. Site taken. We're going for the mini-map here, boys, as Lackey finds another big kill. Krad down low. Roy and Nikados to try and make this retake stick in the 2-on-3. But again, it's that late hit just straight into the B site that's got them going. There is a flank here from Roy, and it is starting to be checked now. He gets one, though. And next up is Elian, who's the only player with health remaining here. He's really got to get this kill, and he will do. It leaves Nikados, despite the low HP bars on that AWP in the 1v2. Trying to work his way in through short. Back in first person as Elian just ducks away. His teammate inside of the smoke will find it. It's a 5th. Entropiq get it done as they work their way out monster into that B site. And that's a huge round to be found for them. It's still going to be the buy for the Flames. It'll still be something for them to work with. But a 5th round T side scrapped in as Entropiq take another timeout. Well, it was desperately needed, you have to say. It just started to feel like the Copenhagen Flames were getting away from them there.
Just to explain the corpse cam, unfortunately, Zark's had a blue screen on his PC, and obviously Autodirector doesn't take over since Interactive Caster was on, so it just decided to stick with the body that he was on when he crashed. Producer eventually was able to get it turned off. But yeah, he should be back soon enough. I don't know if this... Yeah, it was just a tactical pause. I wasn't sure initially. I hadn't looked. I was wondering if we somehow were fortunate enough to get a technical pause to get Zarks back in.
Oh, no.
But
No.
You're not worth that much, Zarks, to hear us?
Yeah, you may be a major observer, but here you don't get no timeouts, mate. 5-all. We're back into the action. Warp in the hands of Elian. 4 rifles available. Nikados will have his counter up, and he is having an absolute field day at the moment. 11-5. As he looks to post himself on party, and he's got bodies to deal with as well. Krad dancing with death. Jumping around that smoke. Short control has been taken this time. It's the first time in a long time that Entropiq have found themselves with early control of short, and they're taking full advantage. Lackey beheads Yabby, and NickelBack, whilst he initially walked out con short, is now going back in as he smells a rat. Roy spamming these smokes may well be his undoing. They know exactly where he is now, and NickelBack will find the second. Lackey takes the bullet on the chin, takes one for the team, but it's a 3-on-5 now. And Hooksy actually tagged up by Forrester through the smoke as well. Yet more damage found as Entropiq. Well, it's been slow rounds that have found them every success so far. This time they speed it up and they get so much done off the back of it. 3v5, 55 seconds left. At this point, no need to rush it. Got control all over the shop, and they're just trying to work out where they want to go with it. Krad smokes front bathrooms. That'll let Nikados know there is someone behind him here, and he will find it. Now they know where the AWP is. They know they've got con control. It should be the B hit.
Yeah, basically pushed forward at this point. As you said, the magic number of 35 seconds remaining. That's when Entropiq seem determined to make these commitments happen. Zyphon already finding the opening kill, though. Kicks things off on a positive note. There should be room at least for the bomb to be planted, as all 3 CTs are grouped up back in towards the spawn. And, well, there we go. Zyphon again actually finds an opening. It will only be the 1, but it gives them the chance to start moving forward. The problem is the health. Not ideal. I was going to say it's a little bit easier for these AKs to hold position despite also being tagged up, but, well, with Lackey left alone and out in the open, his chances are pretty slim, and he just gets straight up peeked by the op. So there you go. A 6th round for Copenhagen Flames. It's a relatively close one. So sure, the damage is continuously being done to the economy of Copenhagen Flames. They're really not building up their money. But importantly, so they are starting to build up some rounds after the initial 3-0 start that Entropiq found. And I believe we have our observer back now.
Yeah, it looks like it. We gave him a bit of BM, but he's back.
Yeah, I was just to get him back in quicker.
Yeah, major observer can't get a PC that doesn't blue screen. What is this? Copenhagen Flames with the lead at 6-5. 4 spy will come out from Entropiq. Mac 10 in the hands of Krad. Your Lils and AKs around them. What can they get done with it? They want that far short control again. It very nearly nabbed them a 6th round. They're going to be giving it again, but this time Roy is wise to the tricks. Lackey again taking a dink on the chin to get the kill, but this time Zyphon not only finds Lackey, he doubles it. Keeps his team in the series in 2-on-2. Alien will at least deal with him, but again, so much damage done before they get into the heart of the site itself, and the airstrike works. Nikodos with the nade from on high. Leaves just Krad remaining. 44 HP, 1v2 to play with. He does have bomb. Has a minute. But Hooksy, oh, he's so ready for what's coming here. He's already swung out water. He's swung barrels. He knows Krad has escaped. Now just a matter of tracking him back down again as Krad does work his way towards short, and he doesn't see Hooksy. He swings jail. That timing is disgusting, and there's no way. There's no way Krad has any idea what's just happened. He'll clear his way up bridge. Hooksy spots it, deals with it. 7 on the board. It's close every time now for the Copenhagen Flames. But they are getting them over the line, and Entropiq again are stuttering on the T side.
Yeah, it's similar to what we've seen before, where there's always promise at the very least within the half, but whenever they have the real opportunity to get the break in, they seem to fall a bit short. Sadly now all they've got is pistols to try and keep the damage going. Again, I mean, 2 to 3 kills, they still have the opportunity at the very least in the next round, but they're running out of opportunities for it to really be impactful. They just need to start winning the rounds. Oh, I thought Roy got that. No, Yabi nicked it. The door, of course, being open, he was able to go ahead and steal it away. Sure, and his teammates kept safe, and, well, Roy not doing that for himself, apparently. Nearly getting caught in rotation. Takes a bit of a dink down, and at this point, you probably just don't want to keep on taking that fight up against the Deagle. You've already got an advantage. Sure, it's a round that massively favours you weaponry-wise, but still, you don't want to give anything away that's not needed at this point.
Keep your hands on everything you've got. Aki on the spam. He's hoping for a little bit of a miracle shot. Quite going to get the connection he's after, and Hooksy thinning the numbers even further. Aggressive to a fault. Here's with Forrester. 5 rounds. It's a decent start on the T side of Overpass. Entropiq will want at least a couple more. Get as close as you possibly can. Krad. Wow. You are very, very stuck, mate. In the bathrooms, being flanked out from all sides. Hooksy will be the one to put him down at last. An 8th on the board for the Copenhagen Flames. By coming up for Entropiq, and it may well be their last swing at the T side with full rifles if they can't make it stick. It's been back and forth. It's been incredibly scrappy for Entropiq, but they have managed to get something. 5 rounds is a platform. 6 or 7 they would call a success. Let's see if they can stick it. This buy, which is a little thin on the ground once again. The utility a little slim. Elian's going to have absolutely nothing. No head armor either as he gets the AWP out. And up against the M4s, that could be a game changer.
It definitely could be, especially with Roy charging forward with his M4, and Krad apparently has a bit of vision on it. Playing the angle underneath the wooden panel, he spots out the feet apparently. Although he receives the dink, it will be the opening kill, at least going in the direction of Entropiq, which hasn't really been easy to find. At least not untraded. We'll see if that lasts for long, because Nikodos has a gap in the smoke that he's working. NickelBack falls, it's going to be back into the 4-on-4, and at this point, being aware of the damage they've done on Krad as well, they should be happy enough to take things a bit more cautiously. Instead, though, Hooksy's fully committed to long on his own. When it works out.
Why not? Krad's low HP goes down for free, and again, it's this double back to the B site. The utility's refreshed, though, and that makes it even more awkward for 50 seconds left. It's going to have to be the B site commit, and it's going to have to be some big headshots. He'll be working his way down. Con and all. Lackey caught napping. That was the angle. That should have been a free kill. Instead, he gets taken out by Yabi. Nikodos chimes in with one more, and Elian. 1v4, 30 seconds, AWP. Stick it up, you jumper, mate. Get out of dodge. There's no way in hell you're going to be able to afford it for the last round of the half if you can't keep your hands on it here. 20 seconds, the hunt begins. Yabi finds his man. 9 on the board for the Flames. Again, we talk about this being their home territory, and they are just stretching their legs down the home straight here. Double digits on the cards, unless this half by scrapped together by Entropiq, scraping the bottom of the barrel, can get something going. It's going to be mostly Galil's. Lackey at least will be able to pick up an AK. I don't think anyone else is going to be joining him in that endeavour. Sacrifices his head armor to do it, and so many times he's taken a bullet to the chin. Have to see if that chin music is once again the problem he faces, as once again the Flames just so aggressive on this. Roy swings wide with a flashbang, nade goes deep, chips away at 2, and you can see Entropiq, they've just been conditioned on that T side. They have to play so slowly in these opening moments, because you just don't know what Copenhagen Flames are going to have in store for you. This time it's the short take. A few rounds ago, it's 3 men pushing up Fountain. Makes it so difficult for that T side just to get a handle on what's going on.
And sometimes, even if they're not throwing the aggression at them, it's nades coming through, just making the ground they cover costly. Has been a very strong recovery here of the CT side overall from Copenhagen Flames. Entropiq, though, they want to work in to see if they can get this connector control, work towards B water. I believe right now it's just being jump peaked, so Hooksy should at least be able to get the info and has definitely spotted out Lackey. I thought he got the vision on the first jump, apparently not. And then Yabi tries to peek through, not expecting anyone else to be there backing him up, apparently. That's going to cost him his life. Zyphon has a decent position, sure, but it's not great when there's multiple players ready to peek you, as damage is being done, but so far no kills for the CT side. Hooksy's the one to finally fix that issue. And a decent response from Nikodos gives them some hope, but it's still a 2-on-3. Make that a 1-on-3 now, with the op being all that's left standing. But he's 18-5. If you want anyone in this position, it would be this man.
Needs a lot out of very little, spamming away. He's looking for a gun.
A real...
Sounds like Pinocchio. Is he a real boy? He's got a real gun. Deagle out. He wants an AK. It's another Galil. It's not going to happen. There it is. 9-6 at the half. A recovery for Entropiq. Can they get it done? We'll have to wait and see. 9-6 at the half. Some would say fortunately for Entropiq. They've looked very messy on that T side, but they managed to string it together. They stayed competitive. And they've bought themselves the opportunity to show us what they're made of on the CT side of Overpass here. Copenhagen Flames just 7 rounds away from that final spot on a map that they called home for so long. We'll be looking to get this done in style. Hooksy picks up the utility. 2 flashes, 1 smoke. NickelBack grabs the kit for the CT side, and Elian wants that opening fight. He's been good on Overpass. He's looked very solid, but not that clean. Flash will force him back, and that at least is a little bit of utility dug out of this T side.
Yeah, no one really budging off of the info spotted on mid either, which I think was the hope for Copenhagen Flames. So unfortunately, they're not getting any sort of easy access to this bomb site, as you can see. Forrester with 2, Lackey's going to get himself 1. Nikodos, I think, accidentally with the 3-round burst on makes that a much more awkward fight than it needed to be. Suddenly they pulled it back into a somewhat winnable position. Unfortunately, Hooksy's going to be pushed down by 2. They wanted to keep that fight isolated while they could and not allow him to back out. They forced the issue up against Nikodos as well, allowing the lead to be extended once again.
We've all been there, Nikodos. We've all been there, don't worry. It's like the classic, you get dropped to FAMAS and it's been set to burst fire, isn't it?
Yeah, my issue is normally I accidentally right-click in the middle of a fight and start taking the silencer off the ONS.
Yeah. Just unbind it, boys. I suppose Nikodos is an AWPer, so he really does need it bound. But if you're a rifle, just unbind it.
Some sort of hotkey to bind and unbind it.
Just get rid of it. Easy peasy. Full eco in this one for the Copenhagen Flames. Should just be a farming exercise again for Entropiq. Work their way through this, don't lose too many players. Up long go the T side, however, and this looks a little awkward initially because it is. They've given up the A site. The long rush has worked, and Elian a little rough around the edges, takes the dink. Bomb yet to make the transfer, and that may well be the undoing. It looks to charge on in. Burstfire Glock gets the dink and nothing more. They're trying to deny this plant. Zyphon will get it down. Forrester, no idea where he's looking as he just strolls out onto site for a picnic, but NickelBack is there to trade it. I mean, 1 kill and a bomb plant? You couldn't really ask much more of 5 Glocks, could you?
No, decent result. Yeah, for Forrester though, unfortunately he was in the wrong place for a picnic. It's elsewhere on the map. If you're gonna do it anywhere, it'd be party.
Yeah, out by a truck. Broken down truck, I mean... apocalyptic vibes, I suppose, if that's what you're going for, but...
It's CS.
His head cleaned off.
Solid buy here though, coming in from the T side. That op even available for Nikodos, so that's something definitely that they're going to have to try and contend with here in Entropiq, having somewhat limited weaponry themselves with even a couple of FAMASs. Boost over towards B, not looking like it's going to be given anything too early on anyway. Copenhagen Flames are just split out on their default expectant aggression, it seems, which is reasonable in what is basically a bonus round, but no, that works out for Zyphon. It looked like they were going to be able to just get the straight up kill as the nade went down perfectly timed, but a 1-for-1 trade is something that Copenhagen Flames are going to be rather happy with.
Incredibly happy with, I'd say. Given the firepower available, that's a rifle gone. 2 FAMAS, 2 M4s. You can see the control. It's almost forcing the hand of Entropiq. Aki wanted to work his way out Monster. Boost on the off angle for Hooksy. Of course, being in that advanced position, he can jump up without any sound cues here, so it's silent to get up. That's a nice angle. Nobody peeking it just yet. Hang around for a while. That molly designed to flush out the player, and it's brought Lackey right into the crosshairs. Nikodos legs him up. Yet to find the kill, but it's actually Roy up on A who's opened it up onto Krad, and now that's the A site in its entirety. Elian scrambling to get into a position to be of any kind of effect, and he needs to deal with Roy immediately. That's a scuff spray, and that'll be the round. Nothing more to be said for either of these players down on B. Lackey and NickelBack. They'll be very fortunate if Copenhagen Flames even let them save as Hooksy. The Bloodhound is sniffing his way around Con, seeing if maybe he can take one of these rifles away and make it that little bit more painful for Entropiq.
Yeah, I want to be careful not to give them an AK upgrade maybe for Lackey, but yeah, I don't think they're really too hungry for the hunt anymore. He is back in the spawn. I think he's more so hoping they're going to come towards him. He's slowly creeping forward, but at this pace, it doesn't look like he's going to be finding anyone. If he ran forward just a small bit, he would very likely spot out. I believe that's Lackey, and 1 bullet only needed. He would likely have the kill. Oh, he didn't quite spot him. Instead, it might be NickelBack, but no. It's actually NickelBack who wins it out, leaving himself on 15 health and allowing for both of those weapons, importantly, to be saved over. But it's going to be 10-8 Copenhagen Flames. They find that opening gun round here on their T side.
It's those small differences that can really swing a game, and you can see what the consequence is going to be here. Elian's got an AWP, albeit glass cannon. They're able to get 2 rifles. I don't call the FAMAS a rifle, it's just a waste of money, but 2 FAMAS, 2 M4s. If they lose one of those M4s in that fight, this buy just looks so much uglier. Instead, it's good chip damage onto Zyphon through connector. Brings him down to 28. Really nice start. Forrester trying to recreate it, but of course on the FAMAS can't find anything. That's a nice opening set again from Entropiq. Some good chip damage to open things up, although it is unconfirmed. Starting to think about taking the control in towards Banana as well. Elian with Krad to back him up. Oh, Yabby. Just contacting out Monster. He'll be ahead of the smoke here, and I don't know if they'll expect it. He's going to wait. He's going to bide his time as well. Just look for the rattiest of timings. Lackey Peak spots it. Forrester is close. The shadow gives him away, and Hooksy is there to back his man up. That is such a dirty bait and switch there for the T side, and all Roy punishing the A lurkers. NickelBack will find one. This is what the Copenhagen Flames do so well. They manipulate that B site. They get it just how they want it, and they pop in, and they know where both of those players are before they do. They've read that rotation. They've read that play. Ironically, the missed shot from Yabi initially actually baits in both and baits them right into the crosshairs that await them. NickelBack will try and save this AWP at the very least. Hits the first shot onto Yabi. Won't want to send too many more bodies at him searching, but in the 11th round, the lead starts to stretch. The economy starts to buckle for the Entropiq boys. This is one that could very quickly get away from them now.
Yeah, it's plays like that that just come with the experience that they have here on this map. It's their second most played map behind Vertigo, which obviously we were a bit surprised wasn't in the map pool. Thought it was going to be in there instead of Ancient initially. But, instead of Nuke rather. But a 3-round lead for Copenhagen Flames either way. Making it work now once they've gotten the economy going once again on this T side. Up against just pistols and a saved op here, there shouldn't be a lot of trouble. Especially as they seem to have made the right decision to rush this straight towards B. There'll be 2 players waiting for them, but it's only one up close, the other back in heaven. They've only got pistols to really do anything about it. Okay, Lackey, what the hell? The fact he even gets the 1 kill there is quite ridiculous. A few dinks back to back on Rye. Nikodos is going to deal with that flanker though, and sure that the op doesn't get given away, which could have been a bit of an issue before the bomb went down. At this stage, surely they just saved the op for Elliot and hope NickelBack and Forrester can maybe steal a rifle or 2.
He's just legging it again. NickelBack's going to go as the bodyguard. Yeah. Defuse kit as well, to be fair. There's a decent amount of money on NickelBack. But it's going to be a 12th round. Copenhagen Flames 4 rounds away from that upper bracket final. 1 best of 3 after that away from IEM Dallas. And Entropiq again. Just at the worst moment, it starts to feel like they're wilting just a little bit. That CT side going off the rails. 4 players kept up here. Economy blossoming for the Copenhagen Flames. Meanwhile, Entropiq with some decisions to make. They will be able to buy again. Warp saved will allow Elian to pick up utility, full armor. But he's been a little shaky on that big green. Contrast it to Nikodos, who's currently 20-8 and just absolutely bossing the server, winning the Battle of the Orps, which is always such a key part of Overpass. Have to say it, Entropiq need Elian to step up. Needed to have some moments on that AWP. Start to wrestle control of this series back their way.
I like the nade stack. Common enough, as is the jump where they land, so it's unfortunate that they weren't able to find anything with it this time around. It's one of the few rounds I think Entropiq haven't had someone jump peek in it as well. Previously we've seen the door being blown off towards connector a bit for them to get the info. But a bit of a slower round from both sides. I guess realizing how crucial this one is, especially Entropiq. If they lose this, their economy's shattered. They'll be shattered as well, as it'll likely be 14-8 before they have any chance at the guns again, so they need to win this one out. And with a strong start from Forrester, they might just be able to do it. Gabby getting a little bit too adventurous out Monster once again. He's tried it, I think, a few too many times at this point for it to be going unpunished.
Does ahead of the flashbang, but Elian's ahead of him. Clean quick scope to deal with his counterpart. And that's more like it. Response found by Entropiq. Few timely kills across the board. NickelBack with the full spray down to get his. Von dinked and dealt with. And they make it look so easy, Dean. When it's going well, it looks so simple. Few kills picked off at the extremities. Deal with the bulk of the attack as it comes. The gap down to 3. The problem is, as the previous round I said, the economy's in such a solid place for the Copenhagen Flames. There will be full buys again. There's no let-up. Pressure is not off yet for Entropiq. If they get through this one, if they find their double digits, the reward is an eco. They got to get there first. And again, Elian, you have to look at him to be the man to get it going. Peeking into party initially. Nikodos is there, and oh, Krad wanted to get aggressive. Thought Elian, I think, was a little closer than he actually was. And now the AWPer is strung out in party. Roy can hear him. All of these sound cues available for the AK as he starts to work around the molly. Flushes Elian wide. He's got no idea what's coming. It's a whiff spray, though. That may be the gift, the second chance at life that Elian needs. He's got to take advantage of it now as he starts to back away through the bathrooms. Wants to reset Divider. Wants to make this count. It's a leg onto Hooksy to open up.
Yeah, that's just a bit of a tease. At this point, they really need some actual kills to trim down on the numbers for Copenhagen Flames. It's not a ton of utility here for Entropiq to make up for the lack of numbers that they have. Elian obviously not looking too healthy either. They have, at least it seems, made the decision to start rotating everyone up towards A, which looks like it could be the correct decision. I mean, the bomb right now, though, being actually taken towards B. It was kind of undecided, it seemed initially, but instead it looks to be just a fake over towards this A bomb site. As again, Copenhagen Flames are selling the perfect round, and it's not at all what they're actually delivering.
Nikodos will stay and lurk, and he could get so much done as well. Lackey wanders in, there's the freebie, pins him to Divider. They are rotating down to B, and Forrester will be able to catch the first with the bomb. That maybe, just maybe, will be enough, but he's immediately traded out. Elian actually finds the wallbang, and NickelBack is there to back his man up out of nowhere. 8 seconds, 7 seconds. Nikodos finds one. He's got to go for this fight. He knows it. NickelBack quick scope doesn't connect. It looked like a flawless round. It looked like they were pulling the strings, but just sheer fragging power from Entropiq. Elian, I don't even know where that wallbang connected onto, but it found the connection regardless. Nikodos not quite able to rescue his team in that one. 22 kills, not quite able to find the 23rd, and that is the break. Like we said, Entropiq get their double digits. This is their reward, and well, it's actually going to be the force buy for the Copenhagen Flames. I thought it was going to be the eco for next. They want to give this one a crack. Siphon on the hero, Galil alongside Yabi, 2 Deegs and a tech flank it. Entropiq creeping their way back into this series. It's not pretty, it's not clever, but they are scrapping as Elian again hits a leg. He seems cursed. Just never quite able to find a clean kill to open things up.
Yeah, might end up the assist king. Might have 13 assists to go along with his kills and deaths right there, judging by how it's been going. Apparently only 1. Okay. Teammates aren't getting those finishes for him, unfortunately. But yeah, the bit of damage favouring Entropiq. This round, I'm not expecting too much of a fight, and then the next one's an eco suddenly. Entropiq are on 12. They found their footing at that point on the CT side, and depending on if they can obviously close this one in a relatively clean fashion and then close the eco in a clean fashion, they could have a good economy built up. So there's opportunities right now for Entropiq, but whether they can actually fully capitalize on it or not is the question that remains to be answered. They've made the right decision to send the 3rd player up towards A at the very least.
Plenty of presence here to deal with it. Elian fires off a shot. Won't quite find the connection, though. Krad close to the smoke. Will be under pressure. Deals with the first. Roy is low, but it's missed shots from NickelBack and Elian, and it leaves Krad completely out in the lurch. Siphon gets another. This was not the round to lose in Entropiq. Nikodos is going to get the bomb down. It's a rough old spray from Forrester, but he will find one. Keeps their hopes alive. Lackey now has to do near enough all the heavy lifting. Nikodos low on HP. Should be the first victim. Tucks himself to the truck and plays it so smart here. Knows that Lackey's going to have to push on out. Takes the dink on the chin again. Lackey takes the chin music, finds the round. I mean, that is closer than it ever should be. The pop onto the A site, the punish of the misses again. Elian on that AWP, still struggling to have impact, but once more Entropiq just kicking and screaming. They're dragging themselves back into this series whether they like it or not. The bomb plant and the kills will open up the opportunity for another half buy, though, for the Flames.
At this stage, you'd be wanting more than that, though, and okay, they actually go for more than that. I didn't think they would. I was going to say it'll just be more of a disappointment that they have to wait to get the full buyout once again, but they seem to have just forced it up. I guess they done some decent damage at the very least in that previous round, but yeah, even with that, it's a big risk right now to be fully invested. If this goes south, Entropiq should be getting a lead and they'll have an opportunity to start running towards that finish line. You've got to wonder, do they have a plan in mind specifically? Nades wise, there's not a ton to work with even.
That finish line has felt so far away for so long for Entropiq. It's a rough old fight out fountain, but NickelBack wins it out, and that has been the story of their CT side so far. Lackey looking to continue that, playing close to the smoke, anti-flash, won't spot anything out. Copenhagen Flames, after losing that early kill, look to regroup. It's a 2-man long play here from Entropiq. NickelBack's going to go looking for more. He wants this kill desperately, down to 1. Good damage found, not quite the kill. He knows he's got a man to back him up here in the form of Krad, but tucks his head behind the rock. Nikodos will deal with it. An advantage dragged back by Copenhagen Flames, but this is a nice setup over towards B from the CT side. Lackey has stayed jail a long old time, and with 35 seconds left, that smoke could not have been better timed. Krad has dealt with the lurk, and now it has to be short, and it's Elian. We've poked holes in his CT side all this time. He might have his opportunity here, or will he? Copenhagen Flames, they want to go back up. They want to go back towards that A site and all the rotation. It's an awkward timing. Krad is solo. He's desperately screaming for someone to join him. Big kill comes in. Nikodos next on low HP, and they're walking into the meat grinder here. Zyphon finally gets his kill, but it's a 1v3, and Forrester isn't going to even let him get that bomb down. They level things 12 apiece. The economy breaks again for the Copenhagen Flames, and this is a tough performance from Entropiq. They have been down and out time and again, and they just keep finding a way to keep themselves in this series.
Yeah, I like the different storylines from map to map. Map number 1, it was a ridiculous comeback from Entropiq. Map number 2, it was Entropiq who started things off on a decent note, but then it's Copenhagen Flames who take control and just kind of run with it. And map 3 here has been way more unpredictable, with it just bouncing back and forth. Both teams having to take risks, really, in order to keep themselves in it. So far right now, they haven't been paying off for Copenhagen Flames, at least over these past few rounds. Strong start from Krad already with the opening kill and connector. Elian, we said he struggled to get some of the finishes, but he's peaked now. I was going to say that angle he was initially on, not much of a chance of a leg shot. This one, though, we've seen it happen a couple times, and the boost might catch him off guard if he goes for the re-peak now. So, needs to be careful. Doesn't want to give anything away to those pistols. He spots the head. The flick doesn't land, but it's enough to just warn him away for now.
Rather a flick doesn't land than you get your head caved in by a deagle and there's an AWP recoverable front bathroom, so glad for the second chance at it. Spots him out. Elian is having a torrid old time on this AWP. Another missed shot, another dink goes against him. The brawl is going to be into the bathrooms. There's a lot of presence here for the T side. Yabi finds an early headshot, and Forrester, you got to be careful here, buddy. Ducks back into the site just about in time. There is a recovered rifle, but it's being dropped amongst the dead here. Roy will finally grab it. 35 seconds left as they look to push up onto site. Nikodos spotted. Roy and Nikodos combined. NickelBack finally there on the flank to steady things, and he'll double it as well. Elliot just has to stay alive and be there as an obstacle. Entropiq, for the first time in a long time on their CT side, they have the lead, and this buy from the Copenhagen Flames may well be their last swing at things.
Yeah, this is becoming a bit reminiscent of the CT side that Entropiq gave us on Ancient, where they pulled off the ridiculous comeback. Obviously, it hasn't been quite to the same extent, but still, overall, the CT side has been quite impressive. Deep molly. Not looking, I don't think, to push forward in mid, but instead just to delay Copenhagen Flames a few seconds. So even if they don't go forward, it's always going to be in the back of their mind that it's a possibility they could have. For now, to focus on getting this B water control and a bit of a boost, hopefully, for an opening pick. It might actually work out for them. NickelBack's already got the open, unfortunately, for Entropiq, so it'll be all about trying to return one at this stage. I was gonna say the player wasn't showing himself. It, unfortunately, though, left him in a position where Nico could go for the peak, so it works out in a weird roundabout way.
What is it with NickelBack and Overpass? It's every time it's Overpass, he goes huge. 24 kills. Opened up this round. It has been traded for now. Even 4-on-4, but NickelBack has pushed so far up. Would be interesting if they go back to see if the 4A1S ban points out long enough that it causes issues, but I don't think they've really got time here. They're banking on a flank that's not coming. NickelBack is happy to hold his ground. One molly left on Lackey. He's not even going to dare to get it out outside of jail. He finds the first. Nikodos tucks himself short, but it's the play close to Wood. Hooksy deals with Lackey, and now it is that Wood player. It's Krad swinging wide. The spray is wild. It doesn't connect, but there's the backstab. Timed to perfection by NickelBack. 26 and 13. Madness from him, and with 20 seconds left, Nikodos knows he's got to clear his man. He misses the shot, make it 27. Take a bow, NickelBack. He saves another round for Entropiq, And now they're 2 away, staring down the barrel of a very rough Copenhagen Flames buy.
You've got to say, he gets pretty close on a lot of those flicks, though. They tend to be millimeters off. He's going to be kicking himself sometimes. 14-12, Entropiq just can't be stopped, it seems. What has it been, 4 or 5 rounds in a row, I believe, at this point? Either way, full control has gone their way, and now it's, again, a pretty limited buy, obviously, for Copenhagen Flames. They've gone fully in, so they're definitely not trying to play for the overtime anyway. But good damage from the nades already being done. Forrester actually finds the player in the background who wasn't brought low, and eventually even gets that finish as well. It's 3 for Forrester. No pun intended. But now it's all on right.
Thriving in the chaos is the only way you can describe that one from Forrester. Full blind for 1, jumping in and out of the smoke, clean headshot for the 3rd.
Ooh.
What can you even do? Roy trying to do something. Would be an ace clutch if he can connect it. This one's a 1v3. Minute and 5 left on the clock. Plenty of time. That's not his biggest issue, however. Chip down to 71. Bomb still to be recovered. Does only really seem to have eyes for the B site at the moment. Alien has posted on any kind of peek out of top con, and it's the 2-man play down on lower. That is where Roy's going to look to head. Contacting out Monster. Aki's holding him on a little bit of an off angle towards these barrels as well. Not quite on the headshot peak, but just wide of it and not expected. It will be 15. 3 opportunities to shut this series down for Entropiq, and look at the buy that Copenhagen Flames are going to bring to the first. There'll be rifles, but it will be ugly. Galil is out for Hooksy. Yabi will surely have to buy a Galil as well. A couple of AKs on the board at the very least if you're looking for a silver lining.
Yeah, I mean, they've been working with a buy similar to this quite often. They forced when it was 12-10 and when it was 12-11, if I remember correctly. Obviously, have been pretty persistent on going for it over these past couple of rounds as well. So, feels like the attempt to press the issue may have backfired overall. Yeah, still a possibility. 3 rounds in a row, that's what's needed right now for Copenhagen Flames to try and take this to the overtime and keep themselves in the upper bracket. After what looked like it was going to be their series with a fantastic start, and, well, a fantastic start into this round it is from Hooksy. Taking down Ellie, and around the edge of the smoke, though, Krad is given some breathing room. He's going to hold his nose now and back out of the bathrooms. Just as Hooksy looks to hunt them down, this might be awkward. Krad instead with the up steps up, and there you go. It's going to be the advantage back in favor of Entropiq. Lackey doesn't even want to give up on the aggression despite already having a 4-on-3. He decides instead he wants a bit more, pushing out and finding Yabi, leaving it all onto Zyphon, and, well, now just Nico does.
1v4 to contend with, AK in hand. Swings the angle, not going to happen. It's Entropiq who complete the comeback, and what a style to do it in. 16-12 to finish things, and that should never have happened. Copenhagen Flames, they move to the CT side on a map that they are so strong on, and then they go T, and it all just starts to fall apart. Entropiq, I'm not going to call that